Hey guys, welcome to my channel! Happy Sunday, Divine Feminine. Ladies and gentle femmes, so-called Divine Feminine, right? So-called Divine Feminine. Hope you're having a great Sunday. And for those of you that are new to my channel, I would like to say, or describe, perhaps is a better word, why exactly I am saying, what did I just say? So-called Divine Feminine. Why am I describing it as so-called Divine Feminine? I will tell you. So, twin flames, right? You see the community, you see people talking about it, right? And they go, oh, there's Divine Feminine and there's Divine Masculine. Well, why? Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Well, we'll talk about that in just a second. But first, I just want to point out that there is actually no such thing as Divine Feminine or Divine Masculine. It's energy. It's energy, guys. It's not gender. Gender is what happens when you incarnate into a physical body. So what is that? Because it's a spiritual thing, right? Obviously, it's some higher energy form. It's etherical. It's metaphysical, right? Something like that, right? That's what we're trying to put our finger on. And it's described as, oh, well, there's a feminine and there's a masculine. Because you could be a man watching, and people are going, yeah, you're the feminine. And that's what they tell me. Yours truly, right here. I'm supposedly Divine Feminine. Well, I'm in a man's body, so how do you reconcile? Because it's not gender. Just remove gender. Just delete gender. Just forget about it. Forget about it. Where did that come from? The gender description of that metaphysical energy that makes you the you and makes your twin what they are, right? So your twin is supposedly Divine Masculining, and you are supposedly Divine Feminining, and you are doing what you are doing as a so-called Divine Feminine, and they are doing what they are doing as a so-called Divine Masculine, right? What is that? What is it that makes them the opposite of you? Energy, energy. The soul, in order to exist here on this physical plane, must polarize. Go watch my video called What Are Twin Flames? Anyway, so where did Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine come from? Well, you know, it's not a twin flames thing, just for your information. The Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, that thing, that is actually from, I guess, what you could call the old school spiritual template, right? It's the old school spiritual template. And they're trying to explain where energy polarizes. Where energy polarizes. Because there's source energy, which is the one. It is the source. It is the zero. It is the neutral, right? And then there is humans, which is polarized energy. And to people living thousands of years ago, whoever it was that was trying to explain this to them, they didn't go, oh yeah, it's positive polarity and negative polarity. Because people would be like, what the hell are you talking about? What's positive and negative polarity? Because it's 5,000 years ago and they don't know what that means. So somebody came up with the idea of, oh, well, we'll just explain it using gender. How about that? People kind of get that, right? 5,000 years ago, man, woman, those are opposites. Okay, cool, done. We'll just use gender to explain it. In the Bible, you'll see it expressed as gender, and you'll also see it expressed as what was called the Alpha and the Omega, right? I am God, the Alpha and the Omega, right? I am the one, and I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am the source. I am the source particle. I am the zero. I am the null. I am the zero. And I am the Alpha and the Omega. So that's kind of where that came from. And now with twin flames, and twin flames, if you understand what they are, go watch my video called What Are Twin Flames? It's where you take the source particle, the soul, which is what you are at your core, right? You're a soul. That's where you came from. That's where you're going to go back to, a soul, right? Which is consciousness. That's what the soul is. Well, to exist on this physical plane of duality, or as Albert Einstein dubbed it, relativity, right? Duality, opposites, relativity, things being relative to one another. There's a this and there's a that. There's a positive and a negative. They're relative, right? That's what Einstein called it, Albert Einstein, when he described how this physical universe functions. It's duality. It's relativity. There's a this and there's a that. There's a positive and there's a negative. And the soul, which is a monad, which is source, which is one, mono, right? One, mono, source, no opposite, right? In order for it to exist here on this plane of duality, relativity, it needed an opposite. That's you and your twin flame, who is you in another body. They are you. You guys are the same soul, but the soul polarized when it entered this universe. If the soul ever leaves this universe, it returns to the monad. And then your polarized soul and their polarized soul, and they're only polarized to each other. It's one soul, which is polarized. So you are having the experience of you, and your twin flame is having the experience of your twin flame. It's not that when you die, you leave this physical universe, because the physical universe is larger than what we can see and touch, right? Which I guess that would be the etherical universe, but it's still part of this universe. So when you die, let's say you die and your twin flame doesn't die, you're still in this universe. You're just on a different plane. You would be perhaps on the lateral plane. Right now, in your physical body, you're on the linear plane. Well, anyway, that polarization is still there. Now, when you leave, when you say, let's call it returning to source, returning to the allness, the oneness, you're leaving this universe. You're leaving the linear and lateral plane of this universe. You're leaving that whole system behind, returning to source. That's when you and your twin flame merge back into the original monad. But to exist in this universe of the linear and lateral plane, there's a duality right there. I got the linear plane and I got the lateral plane. And then above that is the source, which is where the linear and the lateral plane came from, right? When you leave this universe, which again consists of those two planes, the linear and lateral plane, what happens is you and your twin flame merge back into the original source particle. But that's going to be, like 10 lifetimes from now, or 50 lifetimes from now, or something. If you met your twin flame, it's the beginning of your ascension. And what happens when you reach the end of your ascension is you two merge back into one source particle. So you could still live another 100 lives, 100 incarnations with your twin flame, right? After this life, that is possible. That's what it's going to be for you. This is the beginning of your ascension, this particular incarnation. So it's just a repeating fractal pattern of duality. When you die, after this lifetime, you're still in this universe. You're just on a different plane, but the polarization of the soul is still there. But it's positive versus negative. It's not man versus woman. It's energy, guys. It's energy, right? Right. I think you understand what I'm saying here. You kind of get the general principle of what's really going on here with regard to what is the self, life, what is the three-part triune being, and how does that thing function? I think you kind of understand where I'm coming from here. Okay, so let's get to this card reading. At the bottom of the deck, karma, which does not exist, technically, in the conventional sense of what people say karma is. This card, by the way, so this is my, I know what they mean by karma in this card, and I'm going to explain that in a second. So this is my Witch's Tarot. I love this tarot deck. I love it, and you will too. So in this deck, it's the same as the Judgment card. This is Judgment. right? Any of you that have watched tarot for long enough, you may recall that in the original Pamela Coleman Smith Waite deck, the Smith Waite deck, sometimes referred to as the Rider-Waite deck, but really Pamela Coleman Smith should be named. She should be credited because she did the art, Pamela Coleman Smith. In the original deck, you may notice that the Judgment card is very similar to this card, right? If you look at kind of the symbolism that's in this card, it'll look just like the Judgment card. So this is the Judgment card. Now, it's actually totally reasonable to call it karma, but I know what the artist who designed this deck, the Witch's Tarot that I am using right now, I know what they meant. Because here's the thing, when people think of karma, what they think that means is rules. And if you break the rules, you are punished. And if you follow the rules, you are broken. And that is not what karma is, if ever there was such a thing as karma. Karma, so karma, that's what people usually think it is, right? You broke the rules. Maybe in a past life you broke the rules, and so you got to pay for it in this life. That's what people think karma is. And so that's why I don't really like that word karma, because it has that dogma attached to it. It's kind of like the word God has a bunch of dogma attached to it, like God is a man sitting on a throne up in heaven with a big long beard, saying yes to some wishes and no to others. And it's totally arbitrary and based on some arbitrary system of morals that I'm supposed to follow. Which, in that same vein, you would have a thing like karma in the typical sense, what people believe karma is. So that's why I don't like that word. I guess we can still use the word karma or judgment, right? The whole idea behind the Judgment card, which is what this tarot card is based on. Well, it's not really judgment, but I know what they mean. Both Pamela Coleman Smith and this artist, Ellen Dugan, I know what they mean. You gotta, if you're a spiritual person, you understand it's not really karma. It's not rules. It's not a judgment. We're not paying for breaking some rule. It's just your energy coming back to you. It's not that there's a moral system that you have violated. It's not somebody's rule. It's if you put shitty energy out into the universe, shitty energy is going to come back to you. If you put good energy out into the universe, good energy is going to come back to you. And how you dispense that is up to you. Now, Divine Feminine, what I see in this reading is like a moment where, and this is going to come at the end of the reading, but it's going to be like a moment where you were shown to be vindicated, right? You were vindicated. The situation between you and your twin flame, so-called divine masculine, I still use the terms divine masculine and divine feminine because you guys kind of know what I'm talking about. And it's assumed that if you're watching, you're feminine. But what's really going on is energy. It's really not gender. You're the positive polarity, you watching. And your twin flame is the negative polarity. Just forget gender in the real, actual reality. I only use that to save time because you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, okay, so let's say you're going to be vindicated this week, and that's why karma or judgment or whatever, just manifestation, maybe that's the right word to describe this card, is happening, okay? But it's going to come through in kind of a, what's the word? Oh gosh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. It's going to come through the event between you and your twin flame, so-called divine masculine, negative polarity. It's going to come through in a petulant way. You'll be right, divine feminine, you'll be correct, but what I see here is it may turn out to be a little petulant, a little petty, a little bit petty, but you'll be correct. I mean, you'll be vindicated. It's not that you're in the wrong, it's just maybe the way you dispense your showing that you have been vindicated, it will be a little bit on the childish side. It doesn't have to be that way. So you can consider this a warning if you don't like that, because that's kind of what tarot is. It's showing you where you're going to end up if you keep walking the direction you're going. And you can make a different choice. You can make a different choice. You'll still be vindicated either way. That's what this card is saying, because it's coming out at the bottom of the deck. But you can do it gracefully instead of what the tarot reading is saying, which is you might not look so graceful, but you'll still be correct. You'll still be in the right. Okay? All right. So 6 of Cups in reverse, Divine Feminine at the bottom of the, at the recent past, 6 of Cups in reverse, recent past, Divine Feminine. Yeah, we get that. You're letting go of old patterns. And that's great. That's good. That's good. That's exactly what you want. That's exactly where you want to be. Towards your so-called karmic situation, 3D situation, life situation, right? Whatever word you want to pick. Recent past, the Emperor and the Chariot both in the reverse. Yeah, so this is where you were, while you were in the process of releasing these old patterns. What were the old patterns? Well, the old patterns were staying stuck, staying stagnant, not moving forward on your spiritual ascension path because you're trying too hard to control everything. And what happened? You got friend zoned. You got friend zoned. We got the 2 of Cups and the 5 of Wands in reverse. So this is towards Divine Masculine, so-called Divine Masculine. I mean, nothing else needs to be said about that. This is the friend zone. You got put in the friend zone, or they just said, oh, you're great, but we can't be, right? And that happens all the time. We just talked about that in the so-called Divine Masculine reading yesterday. You got put in the friend zone, or they ghosted you and they said, you're great, but I can't. You're great, but I can't. I got to go back to my lover, wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, job, whatever the excuse is that they were giving you for why they're running. I got to go back to that. We can't be. We cannot be together. Or I'm going to go be a man whore. I don't want to be in a monogamous relationship with you. Right? Right. The shit excuse they gave you because you were trying too hard. You're trying too hard to cling to the situation. And you were releasing old patterns, or at least you felt in this 6 of Cups, you know, maybe it wasn't a release of old patterns. Maybe it was you clinging to old patterns, actually. But the old patterns were coming up to be released. You just kept clinging to them instead of letting them fly away from you when they were trying to fly away from you, right? Does that make sense? Of course it does. Current energy, Divine Feminine, right at the center of the reading, the Knight of Wands in reverse. So, you are being you inside, but you look a little bit not like you on the outside. Does that make any sense? I think that makes sense to you, but let me re-explain it. Let me restate that. You are being you on the inside, but you don't look like you on the outside. Does that make any sense? Like, it's like, I know I'm right, but the way that you act is not really in alignment with that you know you are in the right. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Humans are complex. Humans are complex, and they do shit like that. They do. It's okay, Divine Feminine. It's all right. That's where you are, and that's perfect. Okay, so towards so-called... No. Towards your life situation, karmic situation, whatever you want to call it. 3 of Swords in reverse, next to the 8 of Wands. So, getting over the pain that you've experienced quickly. Recovering from the pain quickly. That's great. This is going to be a week of, I guess, what you could call healing. I don't like that word for philosophical reasons, but that's fine. You can use that word. You're going to be feeling really good by the end of the week, even vindicated, even if it's kind of a petulant, I guess you could say blowout with Divine Masculine. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but that's where you're headed. It doesn't have to be that way. You can change it, like I said, to be graceful. You're not going to escape the vindication. That's why judgment, karma, whatever you want to call it, manifestation, whatever this card, whatever word you want to pick, it's that. It's your energy coming back to you. It's at the bottom of the deck. So this is coming whether you like it or not. But how you want to handle it is up to you. Right now, you're headed in the direction of handling it in kind of a childish, petulant way. So I'm just giving you this heads up so that you can maybe handle it in a more wise, enlightened manner. Okay, so towards so-called Divine Masculine, Queen of Swords in reverse, King of Wands in the upright. Okay, This is where the rubber hits the road. So this is how you're feeling towards so-called divine masculine. Not really being honest about the fact that you worship the fucking ground he or she walks on, and you'll do anything to get in their pants at any time and marry them and have a million babies with them, and not just for sexual outcomes like sexual fantasy. No, you're just insane in love with this person. You are, and you fucking know it, and you're kidding yourself if you say you're not. You're absolutely kidding yourself. You know, deep down inside, you're like, God damn it, I want divine masculine. They're so fine. Oh my God. And I love their personality, and everything about them is on point, and I would fucking do anything. Right? And it's weird too. Some of you, get this, some of you might be hearing what I just said and you're going, yeah, I don't know, not really. What's funny is they're not really my type, but I'm still so drawn to them. Right, exactly. That happens all the time with twin flames. And that is a conversation for another time, but basically it's the difference between soul or astral energy and the personality, which is ego, pain body, right? Everybody has their own, but still you have this draw towards this person. Or maybe you do think the person is really cool and it would be great to be with them still, and so it's all good. But either way, you still have this draw towards them. You do, and you're not being honest with yourself about how you are still kind of attached to them, and you look to them like they're this gleaming, white, powerful horse that you just want to ride. I want to ride you, baby. I want to ride a white horse. I want to ride a white horse. I think that's how the song goes. Something like that. It's a good song. What's the name of that band? I listen to them all the time. What is the name of that band? I don't remember. Anyway, it's a pretty good song. There you go, guys. There's more to come. I've got more. We're going to obviously do the conclusion after I draw an oracle card so that you can see how this week is going to turn out. But I'm going to do an oracle card right now. And this reading's going pretty good. This is an interesting reading, actually. This is really constructive. This is one of the most constructive Divine Feminine readings I've done in a while. So, and I told you guys it would be like this too, right? I said, as soon as Mercury retrograde concludes, we're going to start to get some clear answers. And you are. This is, I think, very well defined what's going on between you and Divine Masculine right now. I just feel really good about this reading, and this is where the energy comes back to you, and that's why it's all making sense. That's why it's all making sense. By the way, guys, if you would like to work with me in a professional capacity, you should do that. I am a professional twin flame coach. I was able to attract my twin flame to me permanently, and I've helped so many people, guys. I've got over 1,000 students. I have students that are married to their twin flame, with their twin flame. Maybe you don't care about that. Maybe you do. But either way, wouldn't it be nice to stop feeling like shit, right? And if you don't care about it, I can help you with that too. Obviously, shut down the obsessive thinking. Stop feeling like crap. Stop chasing this person. It's ruining your life, and I'm tired of it. Right? And maybe as a bonus, you're like, yeah, if I could be with them, that would be nice too. I can help you. Yeah, but Kurt, my twin flame is married. I don't care. I don't care. Go watch my video called, What If My Twin Flame is Married? You can absolutely get your twin flame to come be with you guys. You absolutely can do that. And if not, then at minimum, you're going to feel fucking amazing. You're going to feel amazing, and I've done it. I've done it, and I've helped other people do it too. Go to my website, newworldallstar.com, and sign up today for the Introduction to the Journey online video course. 8.5 hours of videos, guys. You're not going to have that many questions by the time you're done watching. You're not. You're not. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. And at the end, I'm going to give you action steps that you can implement today to shut down the obsessive thinking, start living your most amazing life ever. And oh yeah, get your twin flame to come be with you too. It's the Introduction to the Journey. When you're done watching the videos, you and I get to talk either in a one-on-one setting or in a group setting in my Get Your Twin Flame spiritual, what do I call them? Spiritual work groups? We just revamped the name. So Get Your Twin Flame spiritual coaching system. That's what it is. The Get Your Twin Flame spiritual coaching system, which consists of 2 work groups. There's the True Spiritual Journey, which is what this really is. You and your twin flame are the same spirit. So you got to do spiritual stuff, and you got to do the True Spiritual Journey. That's the thing, is this is traditional spiritualism. That's all it is. You and your twin flame are the same soul. You got to go where the soul is, guys. You got to get out of duality. You got to get out of the patterns of the mind and the personality and the rules and the controlling and the healing and the mission and the sending love energy to my divine masculine and making sure that I'm following all the steps properly, and fuck all that. No, you don't have to do any of those things, guys. That's the thing about this, is it's all about freedom and consciousness. That's all the soul is. And you and your twin flame are the same soul. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. It's consciousness, it's freedom, it's your soul, which is what they are. It's the true spiritual journey. It's traditional spiritualism. That's why what I teach works. That's why what I teach works, because it's not fruity, flaky technique or something like that. It's not a technique. You are a soul. That's not a technique. That's just a statement of fact. And you align with your soul, and that's when your twin flame shows up. That's when your twin flame shows up. So there's my 2 work groups, Detox and Ascend, and the True Spiritual Journey. There's me. I have 2 coaches assisting me. There's a whole bunch of people in there having powerful breakthroughs all the time, you guys. You got to check it out. It's incredible. The Get Your Twin Flame Spiritual Coaching System, which you get to check out, included with your original purchase of the Introduction to the Journey at my website, newworldallstar.com. And they're not expensive. They're very affordable. It's like $269 to start, and you get all this stuff. You get 8.5 hours of videos. You get to talk to me. There's also the gold package, which is a step up, and the platinum package. You can talk to me, my coaches, all included, guys. And if you cannot afford my already very low prices, I don't charge thousands, guys. I don't. It's only hundreds. That's all it is. If you can't afford that, I've got payment plans where I break it down into smaller digestible payments, like 50 bucks a month or something like that. So I try to make it very affordable for you guys. Please, please do something about your situation. Please do yourself a favor and do that. And if nothing else, just go watch my free content, guys. Go to the main page of this channel, New World All-Star. Go to the playlists menu and look for the playlist called How to Get Your Twin Flame. And those are all the videos where I talk about twin flames and I explain this shit to you. You can go watch my free content. I don't care. Go watch my free content. And I promise I'm different. I promise I'm different. You're going to know by the time you're done watching. All right, let's do this oracle card, guys. What does Miss Sexy Oracle Pants have to say to us today? Hey, hey. What will it be today? Hey, hey. I think it's that one. I'm going to double check. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's this one. For sure. What? No way. Look at that. Grace. What was I just telling you? Huh? What was I just telling you? Don't be petulant. Be graceful. Here's why I keep saying that the vindication you're going to get with your twin flame this week is it could come in the form of this 5 of Swords. It could come in the form of this 5 of Swords. This is someone who wins a battle, but they look like an asshole doing it. They are correct. They are in the right, but they look like a jerk doing it. Maybe this would be better. Maybe this would be better. Grace. This is what I would recommend, Divine Feminine. Have some class. Have some style. Look at the dove. Have some grace. Have some class and style. Come on, camera. Focus on that card. That's such a beautiful card. And this camera is so unreliable. I need a new camera. Actually, maybe that's what I need. Hello? Hello? It doesn't like me today. That's okay. Grace. You can see the card. Grace. There you go, Divine Feminine. Look at this. Look at this. Towards your situation, the High Priestess and the Lover's card. What do you think that means? It means Divine Masculine, he or she can be put in their place this week. He or she can be put in their place this week. Are you going to do it in a petulant, childish manner, or are you going to be graceful about it? What are you going to do? What are you going to do, Divine Feminine? I think you're going to try to be graceful about it. Take the high road, Divine Feminine. Take the high road. You'll thank yourself. And of course, this is the situation this week. It appears is divine masculine, right? And then we have the direct energy, the Page of Wands and the Four of Swords. Now the Page of Wands in reverse. So yes, exactly. Think about what you're going to say first. Think about what you're going to say first. Give it some thought. Reflect on the past energies that you've had, your past encounters with this person, and play it right. Have some class, Divine Feminine. You are a class act, Divine Feminine. You already are a class act. You already are a class act. I love that. So you don't need this. You don't need this shitty Five of Swords energy. Be the class act that you already are. All right, there you go, guys. Great reading. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a great Sunday. And I will see you tomorrow for a new Twin Flames video. Bye.